Hey, good morning guys. Mike here at Global Investments in the UK. I just want to do a quick, well not quick, but a video this morning. I had a phone call yesterday afternoon with one of my Turkish operations director in Turkey. So he runs our Turkish operation. So basically, Gökhan phoned me up yesterday and he said, Mike, you know, we've just had a client close on a property a few weeks ago, and they've received an invoice for some works, and you know, he's not very happy, not happy, but he was surprised to get an invoice so quickly, considering he just closed on the property a couple of weeks ago, especially when we do an inspection and we sell the house rent ready, which is a good point. So how is he getting an invoice, and why didn't the inspection pick it up? Which is a great question. So I looked at the inspection. The inspection is good. It's a great house, but I just pointed out, you know, and I think it's very important as a company that we make it very clear to investors that, you know, you're buying a rental property, and I talk about the risks involved in buying a rental property, you know, for cash flow. That the two risks involved are maintenance and vacancy. Well, if we look at maintenance, you know, if you're buying a fully renovated property, then yes, I would be very surprised for you to get an invoice just a couple of weeks after you've closed on the property. But could it happen? Yeah, it could, yeah. The bottom line, it could happen. You could get an invoice from the management company because something could happen to a property. And you have to take maintenance into consideration. I always say take around about, I don't know, 4 or 5% of the advertised return to account for any maintenance, vacancy over the years. Now, you mightn't see any maintenance for the first year or for the first 2 years if you buy a renovated property, but still take those numbers into consideration because that risk is still there. Remember, there is no investment without risk. So the bottom line is, it's unfortunate that the client did get an invoice just a couple of weeks. It was a small invoice, I think $800. I can't remember what it was for. Some small items in the house that the tenant had brought up. But my point was to Gökhan and to the client was, you know, you have to appreciate that you're buying, especially if you're buying a property with tenants in place. You know, the house is not renovated. You've got good tenants in place. The house is actually in Bagley in Detroit, which is one of the top areas in the city, and I think he paid like $60,000, $70,000 for the house, so it will be worth a lot more money. So I think sometimes it can be our fault on potentially how we present the property or how we explain, you know, how it works, but I just wanted to put that out and so clients understand, you know, if you're buying a house with a 16 or a 17% return, yeah, then that's great, that's fantastic. You're going to get 16 or 17% on your money. But you have to look at the fact that you're going to have some maintenance on the property. Like, I own properties in the UK, the US, and Europe. And I don't even, not that I don't think when I get a maintenance bill, I don't sometimes, especially on the UK and the US houses, I see a maintenance bill come in, I pay it. Like, yeah, I look at it and I think, well, you know, what's it for? But the bottom line is, if you've spent 60 or 70 or $100,000 or £100,000 in the UK, for example, on a property, and you get a few maintenance bills in, and your return might drop from 16 to 12% one year. The 12% is a lot better than what you would get from having the money in a bank, or even if you look at the likes of the S&P 500 or stocks or shares, you know, you're still getting a very solid and secure return on your investment. So I just wanted to put that out there. You know, we're very transparent in the way that we sell the properties, and I think it does come down to that individual property, whether it's a renovated property. Now, if you were getting an invoice of a a renovated property straight away, then I would speak to the seller and say, listen, you know, this client's just closed on the house and we've sold the house as a fully renovated property and he's just got an invoice, so the seller needs to take care of it. So yes, we would do that, but with a tenanted property, appreciate that you are buying a tenanted property. It's not fully renovated, and potentially you're going to get some maintenance. So, you know, it's unfortunate that it came a couple of weeks after the client just closed, and I think the client understands that now and is happy with it. And like I said, the house is in Bagley, which, if anybody knows Detroit, Bagley is an unreal location, especially for the price that he paid for it. So he's gained equity. And the great news is the tenants are paying the rent as well. So he's getting the rent, he's getting the maintenance bill, okay, so he's had to pay a little bit of money towards the house. But again, remember, when you're putting money into your property, you are also adding value to the house as well. So just some food for thought there, guys, where if you're buying a tenanted property or a rehab property, just expect that you would have maintenance on a house. You own a property, it's yours, it's your investment. And when you put money into that investment, you're investing in your property. Okay? You guys have a good day and we speak soon.